Today is the day for the race, chat. And whoever won next, bro, I'm going around the globe with this, bro.
What happens when one of YouTube's wildest streamers swaps his controller for running spikes and challenges a fitness influencer to a no-holds-barred sprint duel? In the next 20 minutes, you'll witness savage trash talk, career shaking, upsets, and 4 explosive heats that transformed a simple parking lot race into an IRL phenomenon. Stay tuned. By the end, you'll never look at just a race the same way again. Long before viral races and IRL stunts, Darren Speed Watkins Jr. built his name in the wild west of live streaming. Known for gaming marathons that could last 24 hours straight, he kept viewers glued to chat with unpredictable energy and a gift for turning any moment into meme gold. But behind the laughs and Fortnite wins, Speed harbored a secret ambition: to prove that his real-world reflexes and raw athleticism could rival his on-screen bravado. Across the Atlantic, Ashton Hall was forging his own legend. A 29-year-old fitness influencer from Manchester, his meticulously crafted morning routine videos and motivational reels had earned him over 1 million followers. With every perfectly timed crunch and protein shake tutorial, Hall portrayed the picture of elite performance. Yet he'd never been seriously tested in the one-on-one sprints he claimed to train for, until Speed slid into his DMs with the ultimate challenge. Rumor has it, the idea first sparked in a late-night chat. Speed dared Hall to step off the curated gym platform and meet him on a flat parking lot. No blocks, no timing apps, just pure head-to-head speed. For Speed, it was the chance to break beyond gaming stereotypes. For Hall, a high-stakes proving ground. They agreed on 4 back-to-back heats, stakes raised with every start. Winner takes global bragging rights, loser risks his brand. But that was only the beginning. At precisely 0-0 on race day, Speed ignited the scene with an unforgettable opening salvo. Today's the day, chat. Whoever wins next, I'm going global. No edits, no blocks, just speed. His voice crackled with confidence as he taunted Hall. You ducking? Chicken Hall? Let's see if those muscles are just for show. With that, he reframed the matchup from a friendly collab into a must-see. Showdown. Hall replied with calm resolve. I've been doing this too long. Let's get it popping. But even as he spoke, Speed's relentless barrage of fraud labels and Instagram sprinting clown insults reminded everyone watching that nothing about this would be easy or polite. The stakes weren't just bragging rights. Speed pledged he'd rebrand his entire channel if he lost, turning the contest into a viral bet with his own identity on the line. This dramatic wager triggered a surge of hype across social media. Clips of Speed's opening rant exploded in group chats, podcasts buzzed about who would blink first, and memes began to circulate. Speed versus Chicken Hall, parking lot edition. Within hours, anticipation reached fever pitch, laying the perfect groundwork for Heat 1, yet nobody saw what came next. What happens when confidence cracks under pressure? Behind the camera's glare and Speed's relentless jabs, Ashton Hall faced a private battle few viewers saw: the fear of being exposed. As the countdown loomed for Heat 1, Hall's fingers trembled on his phone, scrolling through last-minute sprint drills he'd barely practiced. He'd arrived in Manchester's biggest streaming arena, imagining this as a showcase. But the moment Speed branded him a fraud on loop, every doubt resurfaced. In the minute before the starters go, Hall clenched his jaw. Memories of flawless Instagram reels, angled to highlight perfect form, raced through his mind. He'd built a 1 million-strong audience on curated success, but now every misstep could shatter that image. Chat spammed "Let's go" alongside mocking Chicken Hall memes. With each flash of the live feed tally, his heartbeat pounded louder than any drum. Then came Speed's final taunt. You don't weigh enough. Those muscles are for show. Hall's breath hitched. He forced a nod, plastering on calm. Yet, inside, he wrestled with a deeper conflict. Prove the haters wrong, or avoid public humiliation. The real struggle wasn't speed. It was Hall's battle with imposter syndrome on a global stage. Transition. But on that asphalt, nothing could prepare him for the first explosive sprint. Ever seen a stumble silence a million? Viewers, as the starter counted down, ready, set, go! Speed detonated from the line with a stride that reverberated across every phone screen. Hall lunged forward, but overextended, his front foot landing awkwardly 15 meters in. The wobble was instantaneous. Arms flailed, balance slipped, and within a heartbeat, he crashed to the pavement. That unscripted stumble ignited the internet. Clips of Hall's fall and Speed's jubilant sprint rippled through TikTok, Instagram, Reels, and X feeds. Memes dubbed it the Great Slip-Up, with sound effects ranging from cartoon boings to dramatic orchestral hits. Reaction streams dissected every frame. Was Hall sabotaged by poor surface grip? Or was Speed's explosive power simply too much? Yet amid the laughs, critics voiced concern. Some warned that highlight reel crashes could end careers or injure athletes. Online commentators speculated whether Hall, an influencer rather than a pro sprinter, had overreached. Despite the instant virality, this moment exposed a darker side. One misstep could erase months of crafted reputation. Transition. And then rumors swirled about what truly happened during that fall. What if the real scandal wasn't Speed's victory, but Hall's equipment? Within hours of Heat 1, whispers emerged that Hall had secretly tweaked his running shoes with experimental insoles. Insoles purported to boost rebound, but prone to shifting under intense force. He couldn't keep them stable, claimed one anonymous comment. That's why he stumbled. Simultaneously, alternative theories bubbled. A late-arriving coach sabotaged Hall's warm-up, or Speed had insider info on track conditions and tweaked his spikes accordingly. Debate threads exploded. Was this genuine competition or a backstage game of sabotage? Some alleged collusion, pointing to Hall's unexplained last-minute footwear swap. Others argued Speed's entourage had tampered with camera angles to amplify the fall. Fans fractured into camps. Speed supporters rallied behind pure, unedited performance, while Hall's defenders demanded an official investigation. Even neutral observers questioned the ethics of live-streaming amateur athletes into high-pressure spectacles. In the IshowSpeed frenzy, the rumor mill churned faster than any of the 4 heats, threatening to eclipse the race itself. Transition. What happened next shocked everyone, even the streamers. Can a single stumble ruin a brand overnight? The morning after Heat 1, Ashton Hall awoke to a barrage of DMs, sponsors questioning his reliability, followers mocking chicken legs, and hospital invoices for scraped palms. He'd signed deals on the promise of flawless athletic image. Now contracts teetered on cancellation clauses triggered by public performance failures. Hall's social media feeds flooded with 2-word comments. Fraud detected, delete account. In panic, he posted a defensive story claiming the asphalt was uneven and the shoes defective. But the damage was done. Within 24 hours, a major supplement brand quietly paused their ad campaign featuring him, citing irreconcilable brand misalignment. Hall's follower growth plateaued for the first time in years. Meanwhile, Speed seized the moment. He dropped reaction videos titled "Exposing Chicken Hall's Lies" and "Why I'm Untouchable," racking millions of views. His chat buzzed about which athlete he'd challenge next, and sponsors dangled bigger deals. In one stroke, the fallout cemented Speed's shift from gaming underdog to IRL disruptor, and it left Hall scrambling to salvage what remained of his professional identity. Transition. But the real surprise came as they prepped for Heat 2. When rivals unite, the narrative flips. Behind closed doors, insiders revealed Speed had quietly recruited Kai Cenat to join the broadcast hype team. Kai, another top-tier streamer, dropped a surprise cameo mid-Heat 2, live streaming from the sideline. Speed's 4-zip sweep is real, bro. No cap. His endorsement was more than cameo. It was a strategic alliance that transformed the race into a crossover event, drawing Kai's tens of thousands of viewers into the feud. Simultaneously, whispers circulated that a prominent sports influencer, once Hall's training partner, switched sides, offering speed data on Hall's cadence and stride length. That intel allegedly guided Speed's pacing strategy. Though unconfirmed, the rumor fueled speculation that Heat 2 wasn't just about legs on asphalt, but about a behind-the-scenes power play among streaming elites. The twitch of alliances reshaped the storyline, no longer just a duel, but an epic streamer coalition battling for dominance in the burgeoning world of IRL athletic content. Viewers tuned in not just to see who crossed the line first, but to track the hidden threads of power binding these internet titans. Transition. You won't believe what they revealed next. Guess who mastered chemistry before cardio? Few. Realized Ashton Hall wasn't just a fitness guru. He was an amateur sports scientist. In quieter streams earlier that week, he demonstrated crafting custom gel insoles using 3D printed molds and memory foam compounds. He boasted about optimizing shock absorption and energy return, claiming a secret edge built into his footwear. On race night, he unboxed exotic prototypes, one insole infused with carbon fiber filaments for stiffness, another with liquid gel microcapsules for rebound. Hall slipped them into his spikes just before Heat 2, convinced they'd offset Speed's raw drive phase. But instead of empowerment, the experimental inserts introduced inconsistency, their shifting cores destabilizing Hall at critical moments. Yet those same experiments revealed a side of Hall that few fans knew. His relentless drive to innovate, even when it risked failure. While Speed banked on pure athleticism, Hall bet on science. It was a clash of philosophies, brute force versus engineered precision, and in the high-stakes world of viral content, neither approach guaranteed a win. Transition. It seemed like game over, until when desperation meets the finish line. After 2 straight defeats, Hall faced Heat 3 both physically drained and mentally frayed. Speed's mocking commentary, "Stop procrastinating, bro," and "You're exposed," plain and simple, echoed in Hall's ears. Determined to at least tie the score, Hall insisted on barefoot reruns, arguing flat traction would eliminate shoe-based excuses. The producers acquiesced, marking a fresh attempt on smooth concrete, but the sudden change backfired. Hall's unconditioned soles gripped too tightly, jarring his ankles at takeoff. He pulled up mid-stride, gutting through the pain while Speed cruised past him without breaking form. That crucible of pain elevated Hall's struggle from mere embarrassment to potential injury, a raw setback that almost ended his run before Heat 4. As Hall hobbled off camera to ice his arches, viewers wondered, had he pushed his limits too far? Or would this setback become the crucible that forged his ultimate comeback? Transition. But out of adversity, a bold plan emerged. What do you do when you're backed against the wall? Between Heats 3 and 4, Ashton Hall retreated into a makeshift clinic, RICE protocols, cane-assisted mobility, and whispered pep talks from a surprise coach who flew in last minute. Hall recorded a short vlog. "I didn't come here to just survive. I came to prove I can push through pain." Re-emerging onto the asphalt, Hall's body language had shifted. He adopted a lower drive phase, arms pumping with calculated aggression. He scrapped the gel insoles and reverted to a classic carbon fiber plate structure he'd used months earlier. It was a high-stakes gamble. No more excuses, just raw determination. As Heat 4 approached, Speed eyed Hall's transformation with a grin. "You think that'll save you?" he barked. Yet when the gun fired, Hall exploded off the line like a man reborn. His ankle support holding firm in stride tightened to laser focus. The crowd held its breath. Transition. But seconds later, everything changed. again. Are we watching a tie or a total blowout? In a jaw-dropping moment, Hall and Speed crossed the finish so closely it registered a dead heat on the primary camera. But Speed's secondary mic, revealed in a post-race tech drop, recorded Hall breathing heavy a half-second before, suggesting he'd actually edged out the win. This audio-only ear witness reignited the debate. Was it 3-1 to Speed, or a 2-2 tie? Clips of waveform analyses flooded tech channels, with enthusiasts overlaying spectrograms to pinpoint that crucial breath. The narrative fractured. Speed's fans claimed video evidence proved a clear Ford and Nero sweep, while Hall's camp championed the audio breakthrough as proof of at least one victory. Suddenly, the race ceased to be just a competition. It became a forensic investigation in real time. Viewers subscribed to multiple channels just to follow each new piece of evidence, transforming the event into an interactive detective story. Transition. Some cheered, others were furious, but all were locked in. Have you ever seen a fan base explode in real time? Scroll through any live chat replay, and you'll find conspiracy threads thicker than any true crime doc. One side spammed pure legit, alongside gifs of Speed's triumphant fist, pump. The other posted slowed-down clips of Hall's finish, annotated with, "He inhaled first," and "Audio never lies." Meanwhile, reaction channels zeroed in on minutia. The angle of Hall's torso at 12 meters, the reflection in Speed's sunglasses, even the gravel kicked up beneath Hall's foot on Heat 3's barefoot run. Comments ranged from gleeful mockery, "Delete your Instagram, bro," to heartfelt empathy. I can't believe what pressure Hall endured. Even neutral viewers couldn't look away. Polls on Instagram stories asked, "Who really won? Heat 4? And should there be a rematch?" Thousands voted within minutes, underscoring a new reality. Modern audiences crave participatory drama as much as raw athleticism. Transition. Here's why this race matters beyond the finish line. Why does a sprint in a parking lot feel like the future of entertainment? This clash wasn't just two athletes. It was a blueprint for 21st century content. It proved that authentic stakes, real-time narrative twists, and audience engagement can eclipse polished documentaries or scripted shows. Speed's rise from gamer to IRL champion demonstrates how unfiltered authenticity resonates deeper than any brand sponsorship. For creators, the takeaway is clear. Orchestrate genuine risk and let viewers in on the process. Build suspense through incremental reveals, like the audio proof of Heat 4, and encourage fans to become co-authors of the story. Engage them with polls, reaction challenges, and behind-the-scenes teases to sustain retention across 20-minute run times. But this model also demands responsibility. Real athletes risk injury. Real reputations hang in the balance. As YouTube giants push the envelope, platforms must wrestle with ethics. When does entertainment cross into exploitation? Transition. And now one final question remains. What's the next chapter in this saga? With Hall vowing a formal rematch and Speed teasing an Olympic-caliber challenger, the world stands on edge. Will Ashton train smarter, engineer a comeback that rewrites the audio-visual record? Or will Speed escalate stakes, perhaps a mixed reality, duel against a pro athlete to cement his IRL supremacy? Fans speculate about innovative formats, weighted sprints, reaction timer starts, multi-stage elimination brackets streamed live. Meanwhile, sponsors watch closely, ready to back the next big twist in this evolving sport entertainment hybrid. Yet amid all the hype, one truth remains. Neither winner nor loser has final control over this story. Viewers, armed with clips, spectrograms, and hot takes, hold the power to define the narrative. And until the rematch guns fire, nobody knows who will write the next headline. So, what would you wager on the next sprint? From Speed's lightning-quick drive phases to Hall's engineered insoles and the viral audio evidence that split the world, this parking lot saga rewrote the rules of engagement. It wasn't just about who ran fastest. It was about real-time storytelling, collective investigation, and the raw drama of public stakes. As influencers blur the line between entertainment and athletic contest, we're witnessing a new genre. Live-streamed, audience-driven sport with narrative twists that rival any Hollywood thriller. The question now is not just who wins, but how this evolving format will reshape both digital content and real-world competition. So here's your call to action. Cast your vote in the comments. Who do you think truly owns the Speedway? And what jaw-dropping rule or twist would you add to make the next rematch unmissable? The future of IRL streaming depends on you.